Food security exists when people have access to enough safe and nutritious food for normal growth and development. You have to know what you're eating these days and where it comes from. The best way to do this is to grow your own produce at home, but many people don't know where to start, how to start, and if they can start. 330,632 people in Ireland live in estates. This causes them to think they don't have enough room in order to grow their own produce. We think otherwise. In this podcast, we will be interviewing two individuals from County Waterford in Ireland, Lanigan and Kamila Jackiewicz. Kamila lives in a rural area of Legg with an acre or more of land, and she has more room to grow her own produce, whereas Michelle only lives in the state and only grows with how much ever space she can get.
Hello Michelle, we are very happy to have you here today. So as you know, we're recording the podcast for our young reporters for the environment competition. There'll just be a few questions about your garden, which you know beforehand anyway. As you know yourself, a lot of people don't know where to start, don't know how to start. You know yourself, if you had little lawn space, people think that if they're in that situation, it's impossible for them to start growing their own garden. So what would be your main recommendations to people who do want to grow their own garden? Or like what sites to use, where to start?
Well, I suppose it's easy to start. You don't need a lot of space. You know, a couple of pots on a windowsill. If you live in an apartment, that's it. You can do it that way. Tomatoes work well growing inside. They don't have to be outside. You can grow lemons inside. You know, it doesn't all have to be outside. You don't need a lot of space. My advice would be give it a go. It's not expensive to start. Don't go off and, you know, get a rotavator and dig up your front lawn. Just start small with a few pots, a couple of seeds, and just enjoy the process.
And do you have any last final words? Anything?
I'd love to see more people do it. I really would, because you know it's shocking that we're importing the likes of garlic from Spain when we can grow it. We have the most amazing climate in Ireland, even though it rains a lot, but it's perfect for growing fruit and veg. And I think everybody should try, because you know, at least then you know what you're eating. And you know, food costs are going up, so why not try and save a bit of money where you can by growing your own.
Welcome Kamila, and thank you for meeting us here today. As you know, I will ask you a few short questions for our podcast for the Young Reporters for the Environment competition. Would you like to start now?
Yes, please.
What is your advice for someone who wants to start growing their own garden but doesn't know how or where to start?
Okay, my advice is to just start it, even with the small space. You don't need a big garden as we have it. What matters is the passions and learn step by step. I'm still learning myself every year. Like, I write down my mistakes and try to do them better at the next seasons. Like our family and like myself, we also try to be more self-official. We make our own jams and pickles, some juices from what we're growing. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it.